welcome to today's practice. So we're going to start standing up today on our feet, and usual recommendation before we start that if anything doesn't feel right or you need to take any adjustments, any modification, just go ahead and do it. So I started finding an easy Tadasana with the feet about hip-width distance apart, feeling the weight equally distributed on our feet, both the front and the back. So if you need to sway a little bit, find that centered place, go ahead and do that. And then the same thing with the pelvis and the hips, and feel that they're centered. You feel fully supported by your legs with the feet rooted towards the floor. And then just have that sensation, that feel of the trunk growing out of the pelvis. And then as you get to the shoulder, just lift them up and drop them back a little bit to open the chest, the collarbone. The palms are slightly turned towards the front. And the head is resting on top of everything, with the chin slightly tucked. We just feel centered, balanced, rooted. And perhaps we close our eyes, or you can keep the gaze soft towards the floor. Let's just spend a couple of breaths here, just focusing on the steadiness of the inhale and exhale. Just noticing how we're feeling today. Just take those breaths to become present in the here and now. Then we opening the eyes, but keeping the gaze soft. We start with some joint breathing, where we inhale into the chest and we exhale by emptying the stomach. And as we inhale, we lengthen all the joints, everything. We lift the toes, extend the legs, arms, fingers, neck becomes long. And as we exhale, we soften down. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we soften. So even when we're lengthening, we're just lengthening, we're not stretching, we're not contracting, tensing up. So we stay relaxed both through the exhale and the inhale. And obviously it's more intuitive to relax during the exhale, but we should maintain that state of softness, relaxed also when we exhale, because we're just lengthening. And the breath is guiding the whole movement. And just continue like this for a few more breaths. Exhale, we take the hands to the shoulders, and this time we inhale, we lengthen all the way up. And then as we exhale, we soften, well, we keep the arms up, and then inhale, we lengthen again. Exhale, soften. So as you lengthen on the inhale, feel the lengthening also happening on the upper body, the side of the waist becoming long. In the back, you might feel the shoulder blades going up towards your ears. As you exhale, just soften. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you soften. long. And then the next exhale, we relax the arms down. We take them back to the shoulders. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we soften and relax. Taking the arms down, back in front of the chest, inhale. So the exhale is quite long because we keep exhaling until the hands are back in front of the chest. And that's when I start inhaling and again to lengthen the entire body. Exhale. Inhale. And just feel the whole body participating into the movement. Maybe there is a little bit of the spinal wave as you roll up. Stay soft, and then the next time that we exhale all the way down. Relax the chest over the thighs, so the knees are bent, and then hands on your fingertips in front of the feet, and then inhale, let's lengthen here forward. So we're extending the arms, the legs, chest, and then exhale, we soften, and we roll up. Lengthen, exhale down, inhale, we lengthen forward, exhale, we soften. So make sure you're softening a lot before you come up. Inhale, lengthen here, again, exhale, softening, you're bending the knees a lot, the chest is coming over the thighs, and then inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, soften. Inhale, we roll up. And exhale, take the hands in prayer pose. Let's close our eyes for a second before we start moving. So today's practice, we're going to mix a few standing things and things on the floor. And we'll be working on pretty much everything, the lengthening the whole body, strengthening and opening the upper body. We'll be working a little bit on the back as well, so it's pretty, but without forcing. That's the whole thing. So let's come to the front of the mat. I'm going to start with the sun salutation A, the Anukalana sun salutation. We're going to put together 2 or 3 things on the first one. So inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we soften down. Hands in front of the feet. Inhale, we want to lengthen here. Exhale, we soften. We step the left foot all the way back. And the hips are back. And then inhale, we lengthen here into the low lunge. Coming forward. Lengthening the back. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lengthen again. And as we soften, drop the left knee to the floor. You can keep the toes tucked, or if you want, you can untuck. We come back and up. And inhale, forward into Anjaneyasana. So focus on lengthening the body up towards the sky, towards the ceiling, rather than back. Dropping into the lunge. Couple of breaths here. And then exhale, we relax. The hands come down. Take the hips back, so the left hip is over the left knee. This leg, the right leg, is still soft, and then inhale, lengthen the chest over the right leg. Couple of breaths here, just lengthening. So rather than closing down over the right leg, we're going forward, and probably the right toes are going to come up towards the ceiling. Maybe not. It's whatever feels right for you. And exhale, soften, replace the right foot, plant the hands, lift the left knee, we step the right leg back, and we'll rise soft with the knees and the elbows bent, and then inhale, we lengthen into downward facing dog. And spend 2 or 3 breaths here, soften on the exhale, inhale, lengthen into the dog. And then again, soften, inhale, lengthen. And then next time we soften, bend the elbows, come forward, drop down on the knees, untuck the toes, come all the way down to the floor, extend the arms back with the palms facing down, and then tuck the tail and take the shoulders forward and with an inhale, roll up into locust pose. Spend 2 or 3 breaths here as well. So again, use the breath to lift and release on the exhale. So if you feel mostly the upper back and the lower back, the mid back, they're engaged. If you feel the glutes, the lower back engaged, then you can use the glutes to release the lower back. Then exhale, relax the arms down by the shoulders, tuck the toes, come up into all 4 first, and then bend the elbows, lift the knees, inhale, push back into downward facing dog. And then soften everything, step the left foot to the front, and then inhale, lengthen into a lunge. And then exhale, soften. Take the right foot to the front, meet the left. The right very soft. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, soften. Roll up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. So we're going to repeat the sequence on the other side. Inhale, we lengthen here. Exhale, we bend the knees, we come down. Inhale, we lengthen forward. We soften, we step the right foot back this time. Arrive always with the hips back, and then inhale, lengthen forward into the lunge. Just a couple of breaths here. Exhale, softening, inhale, lengthening. Then next exhale, we drop the right knee down. Toes can be tucked or untucked, it's whatever works for you. And we start rolling up. Inhale, Anukalana with the knee down. And again, let's focus on lengthening the upper body towards the ceiling. Use the breath. And exhale, we soften back, the hands come down, the hips are going back until the right hip is over the right knee. We start with the left knee soft, and then inhale, we lengthen over the left leg. And again, the left toes can be down or up or wherever feels more relaxed for you. And the focus is lengthening over the left leg rather than closing down. So you're lengthening here. And then exhale, we soften, find the hands, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, step the left foot back, Inhale, downward facing dog. Just a couple of breaths here. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lengthen. And again. When you're lengthening, these are the hips that are lifting back and up, and that's what's then lengthening the arms and the legs. You feel both sides of the waist equally long. And then when we soften, we step the right foot to the front, from the hands, the hips are back. Inhale, lengthen here. And then soften back. The left foot comes to the front to meet the right. Inhale, lengthen here, forward. Exhale, soften, roll up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands in prayer pose and close your eyes. So let the practice sink in. First few asanas where we have lengthened, starting to lengthen all the major muscle lines. We'll continue with that. All the major fascias and chains of tissues and whatnot. So always have this integrated view of the body. Because we have this idea that the body is made up of different pieces and components and parts and limbs, and we talked about muscles and the bones and the nervous systems and the organs as if they were separated and they were assembled together. In reality, we come to life as already one unit. So we don't come out of an assembly line where someone has put us together. The body is one. And so when we practice yoga, when we practice in particular Anukalana, always think of the effect and the sensations on the entire body. Because that's the integration, the connection. And so let's come to the front of the mat again. So we're going to do a few standing sequences facing the short side of the mat. So inhale, I'm going to lengthen here. Exhale, we soften. We're going to step the left foot back. And make sure that when we arrive, the 2 feet are on a railroad track. So they're not one behind the other. They're parallel. And the left foot is somewhat turned towards the maybe 45 degree or something like that. Both knees are soft. I'm going to take the hands to the shoulders. I'm going to inhale, lengthen into the simplified warrior. So both legs are extended. And again, I'm lengthening the upper body up long. I'm not going back, that's a different thing. I'm just going up. And I'm working on squaring the hips towards the front. They won't square perfectly because of the position of the back leg, but that's the direction I'm going. So exhale, I soften, inhale, I lengthen. So when I exhale, I soften, I feel the feet becoming more rooted to the floor. When I inhale, I lengthen, I feel the upper body going up towards the ceiling, the sky. Soften, become rooted, lengthen, up. Another breath or 2 here, finding the space. Again, it's softening the entire body. Make sure you're bending both knees when you're relaxing. Then from here we want to soften everything, including the back knee. My hands are going to come down. And I'm going to, again, inhale, lengthen both legs, and I'm going to straighten my chest forward. So the legs are still in a railroad track, and they'll lengthen. I'm still trying to square the hips to the front. And my Chest is parallel to the floor, so not coming down. And if you need blocks, you can place blocks to support your hands, lengthen the arms. And just again, focus on that lengthening. And imagine you have a thread, two threads. One is on the sacrum, like the tailbone, and the other on the crown of the head. And they're pulling us into two opposite directions and lengthening the spine into those directions. Use the breath to relax, to adjust, inhale to lengthen back. So check the alignment of the spine. Sometimes here there is a tendency maybe of moving the right hip out to the side. So the right hip comes back in towards the midline. The left hip is squaring towards the front. Exhale, soften. We're going to come up. We're going to pivot on the toes of the back foot. So we're going to be off. The heel is going to be off the mat. I'm going to take the hands to the shoulders, and initially both my pelvis is centered. I'm going to come up into crescent lunge. So with the inhale, I'm going to lengthen and open up here. So again, I'm lengthening towards the ceiling. I'm not hunching back. So I soften with an inhale, I go back. I bend the front knee deeply. I extend this back leg as much as I can. So I'm pushing the left heel back. And the pelvis is dropping down. So I'm opening all this side here of the body. Exhale. Inhale. Use the breath to, fluidly come in and out to find more opening. We're lengthening more. And then exhale, we soften. The hands are going to come down again. I'm going to drop back the left heel. I may have to adjust the standing. I'm going to take the hands somewhat in front of the right foot, and you decide how far in front you can go. Because what we're going to do now is with an inhale, I'm going to extend the legs, and this time my chest is going to extend down over the right leg with the hands in front of the right foot. So exhale, inhale. You'll probably feel the lengthening of the back. It's almost like we're closing down the chest over the right leg, although we're not trying to close in. We're still having the chest open, but we're more again lengthening over that right leg. And another breath or two here. Again, we're lengthening all these major muscles and fascias, groups, and connected tissues. So we're lengthening the back here, over here, the back of the left leg. And then exhale, soften everything. Pivot again on the left toes, plant the hands, take the right foot all the way back and up, three-legged dog. And then exhale, soften, take the right foot down, and then start sliding down back to the floor. On the way down, hands by the shoulders, and then tuck the tail. Make sure the elbows are tucked in, they're not going out to the side. We're going to come up into cobra. So tuck the tail and then roll the spine up. The head is the last thing that comes up. Cobra. So make sure that the shoulders are relaxed down, we're not up here. And if you need to be lower, that's perfectly fine. So be where you are, opening the chest for 2 or 3 breaths. And again, this idea of opening the front and going up. And then exhale, soften, take the head down. We tuck the toes. And then first bend the knees and the elbows, and then inhale, downward facing dog. And then as you soften, we step the left foot to the front. I'm going to change the direction so you can still see me. I'm going to open the right foot out to the side, make sure that the feet are on railroad track, and then I'm going to come up. Take the hands to the shoulders, and then inhale, I'm going to lengthen here in just the simplified warrior one. Same sequence on the other side. Again, use the breath to lengthen up on the inhale, and when on the exhale, as you relax, to root the feet down into the floor. So it's like this opposite idea of rooting and extending towards the ceiling, towards the sky. It's more poetic. Just a few breaths here. Those asanas actually are beautiful because they're very simple. Anybody can do them, but you just feel your whole body lengthening as a single unit, and as you relax it, as the entire body softens and you lengthen. And then as we soften, we're going to come down with the hands under our shoulders. We're going to come into pyramid, Prasvartanasana. So inhale, I'm going to lengthen the legs and lengthen the chest forward. So make sure that the back foot is on the floor. So it's probably turned a little bit more towards the front, but still the entire foot is on the floor. It's not, the heel is not off the floor. And then the left hip is going back, the right hip is coming to the front, so that's squaring the hips and the back as well. And then go back to that image of the thread pulling you from the crown of the head towards the front and from the sacrum towards the back. So you're lengthening the spine. And use the breath to soften and go back into it. So never lock anything with tension, with contraction, with effort. We don't need those in yoga. And then exhale, soften. We're going to come up. We're going to pivot on the back foot. We're going to place the hands to the shoulders. Adjust the feet if you need to. Have more space. We're going to come into crescent lunge. So with the inhale, I'm going to bend forward, extend the back leg, and extend up. And even in an asana like this, is the entire body that is going through the movement. So use the breath to go in and out as you need, to lengthen and come a little deeper. And as we exhale, we come out. The hands come all the way down, somewhere in front of the front foot.
Draw back on the heel of the back foot. And then with the knee nail, I'm going to lengthen over the left leg. So the same actions with the hips. So you're still trying to square the hips. The left hip is going back, the right hip is coming forward. And the chest is lengthening over the left leg. You're opening the back, lengthening the back. Hands somewhere in front of the left foot. So you decide how far you can get. It's also a question how long your arms are, not necessarily how open or flexible you are. Again, use the inhale and the exhale. And we soften, blend the hands, go back on the ball of the right foot, slide the left leg all the way back and up. Three-legged dog. And then exhale, soften, left foot next to the right. Inhale, dog. We're going to do a cobra here, so come down on your knees, chest all the way to the floor, hands by the shoulders, elbows are in, tuck the tail, inhale, roll up for your cobra. Again, use the inhale, open, lengthen. If you need to bend, you can bend the elbows. The neck is free, so it's not tucked in. And then exhale, the head is the first thing that rolls down. Bend the elbows, come down. And then gently go back all four. And then child's pose. Release the hips towards the heels. And then gently come up with the chest, so we're sitting on the heels. And if you need to place something to support you, like a blanket or a block under the glutes, go ahead and do that. And then hands are in your thighs, inhale, open the chest, exhale, soften, just a couple of breaths here. I'm going to turn to the other side. So where we're going. So we're going to do a build on a build sequence that is going to be variations on plank pose. So let's start playing with plank pose a few times. So we're going to come forward like you're coming into hold 4. The hands are slightly ahead of the shoulders. I'm going to tuck the toes, come up into a very soft dog with the knees barely off the floor, and then inhale, lengthen into your plank pose. Just find the plank, so the heels are pushing firmly back. Make sure the hips are not way up or down, but they're in the right place. And then just try to relax everything. If you need to come down on the knees, just come down on the knees at any point. But if you're up, just notice what is tensing up. A lot of things are going to be tensing up here. So spend a few breaths to see if you can sustain the plank and relax the body. So probably the wrists, the hands, the forearms, upper arms, shoulders, the core, maybe the glutes, the front of the legs, the quadriceps, maybe even the toes.
And then exhale back. And let's go back on our heels. We're going to take the hands behind us and release actually all the way down the hands, so you're not on the fingertips. And then have this action of tucking the tail heel in as if you want to raise the hips off the heels, but we're not. So we're just lengthening. That action of tucking the tail in should lengthen the front of the thighs, the quadriceps. So focus on that action, and then at the same time you're lengthening the front of the chest away from the knees. And you may notice as you tuck the tail that the quadriceps release, and you can go a little deeper into that tucking, that action. And then exhale, relax. You're going to go back into the plank pose. So hands in front, tuck the toes, lift, inhale, roll into plank. So come down on your knees. I just want to make sure that we get this in Anukalana as well, because we don't go into plank directly like this in Anukalana, but it's a flow. So I come forward, I lift the knees, and then I roll forward, so I extend the whole body into plank at the same time. So find your plank, Anukalana style, and then soften, we go back, and this time we take the hands back, and we're going to lift the hips off the heel. We're going to lengthen up into semi-ustrasana or camel pose. And if you need to be on the fingertips, you can do that. That gives you more opening. Then exhale, we soften. We go forward into plank, and we just flow between those two for a couple of times. So plank, soften back, hands behind the hips, open up into semi-camel. Soften down, forward, inhale, plank. And then back, inhale. Always use the breath to guide the movement. Now, as we go forward, we're going to go into side plank standing on the right hand. So when I come forward, I'm going to raise the knees. As soon as I raise them, I'm going to turn to the right side. And you can decide to keep the right foot down in front of the left, or you can stack the feet, whatever works for you. And then inhale, find plank pose. Side plank. And then exhale, we soften. Listen carefully. When I come back down into all four, I'm going to slide back on our heels. The right hand, which was the hand that was on the floor, is going to find the right heel. The left hand is going to come to the chest, to the shoulder. I'm going to lift the hips, and with the inhale, I'm going to find half camel. Exhale, I'm going to sit back down on my heels. When I come forward, I'm going to find side plank on the left side. So just be very, as soon as you lift the knees up and the elbows are bent, you turn to the left side and you stay soft. You decide if your left foot wants to be in front or the feet are one on top of the other. And then inhale, side plank. And then exhale, soften, come down into your knees, slide back. The left hand, this time is going to find the left heel, right hand to the shoulders, inhale. Exhale down, and we flow between those two a few times. So, forward, side plank on the right side. So the left hand, which is aerial now, is the one that is going to be up.
into the half camel. So we come down, go back, right hand, right heel, left hand, left shoulder, inhale. Exhale. Back into side plank on the other side. And again, make sure that you're fluid in the transition. You're softening as you come out. So left hand, left heel, right hand, right shoulder. Let's do one more cycle, either side. So always be soft. Inhale. Exhale, soften. Down and back. Inhale, we open. We come down on our heels. And if this is again uncomfortable, you can sit on something, or actually you can also come down seated cross-legged, whatever is comfortable. And just close your eyes. Feel the breath. Feel the effect of the practice on the body, the upper body. And then we're going to play with, I think we've done, it's been a while since we've done it actually, we thread the needle. So we're going to come forward into all four. And don't go anywhere until I tell you to go there, because we're going to do a bit of variation, which I think we might have done several weeks ago. But anyway, so soften everything, take the right hand off the mat, inhale, open up to the right side. And then as we soften, we thread the right hand behind the left, dropping the right shoulder to the floor. And just stay here for a couple of breaths. Keep the legs as they are. If anything, bring the big toes together, just to make sure that the hips are squared. And then maybe press the right hand into the mat to see if you can take the left hand into the mat to see if you can take the right hand a little further out. And then just relax. Here again. Then maybe again. So if you can find a little bit more space. And if not, that's fine. And then maybe the left hand comes up, finds your lower back, or it comes all the way in to find the right inner thigh. Just breathe here. Maybe transfer the breath to the abdomen as a way of massaging the organs as well. Because we often associate twists as a lengthening of the upper body of the back, but they actually have an equally important effect on the organs, because we might be squeezing them and massaging them. Maybe see if you can always find a little bit more space, a little bit more twist. The legs stay where they are. We're not extending the legs or anything. And then we bend the right hand, right elbow rather. And then we put pressure on the right elbow.
help us come up on our heels. And the right hand is going to find the left hip. And we're going to be twisted again. Lengthen. And then exhale, soften. We come back to the center. And then start from the twist to the other side. So the left hand is going to find the right hip. The right hand is going to come inside. I'm going to turn around. Stay here for a breath or two. Focusing here on the lengthening again of the upper body. And then gently we come forward and down. We drop the left shoulder to the floor. The right hand is still tucked. We need to find the left shoulder. And just spend a couple of breaths here. And then maybe you start pressing the head down to free the left hand, arm and shoulder, and see if you can take them further out towards the right side. Again, don't force it. Only go as far as is comfortable. And the focus is opening, in this case, the right shoulder. So we're opening the chest, but also keep the breath down in the abdomen. Breathing here. And then we bend the left hand, left elbow, keep saying left hand, and then press into the left elbow to help you come up. Couple of breaths here, and exhale, release. Come back to center, and let's take a couple of breaths here. And then from here, I'm going to come forward into all four, and then we're going to drop the forearms down to the floor. And then make sure that the hips are perpendicular over the knees. And then start sliding the forearms forward towards the front. We're coming down into puppy stretch. So eventually maybe the forehead comes to the floor. But the focus is not so much on getting the forehead or even the chin to the floor as opening the chest. So the shoulders are open, we're opening the shoulders and dropping the chest towards the floor. So it's not so much, the intention is not on getting the front forehead or the chin to the chest. That's just an adjustment to be comfortable. But the objective is to open here and dropping it close to the floor. So let's spend a few breaths here. You may find that as we spend some time here that the body lengthens and finds more space. check always that the hips are perpendicular over the knees. And then take the forearms back to the floor and come forward with the body. So you're coming forward and then tuck the tail. And as you tuck the tail is coming down towards the floor, the pelvis is coming down towards the floor. And then you're going to roll the chest up. And head is the last thing that comes up, and you're going to be in Sphinx pose. So it's a rolling. Let me show this again. So from puppy stretch, I'm going to drop the forearms down if they're off the floor. I'm going to start sliding forward, and then as I come forward, look at my tail. It slides in, tucks in. The pelvis comes in, my head is still tucked in, and then roll up. I may have to slide back a little bit. I come up into Sphinx. So the elbows are under the shoulders. And let's make it an active Sphinx. There is an alternative, which is a slouchy Sphinx, which is down. I'm pushing the forearms, the elbows into the floor. So the chest is open, and I'm focused again on opening the chest towards the front. And a couple of breaths here. And then as you exhale, the head is going to come down to the floor. You're going to have to make space with the elbows, moving them out. And then hands by the shoulders, make sure the elbows are getting tucked in. And then I'm going to roll up into Cobra. And then from here, you're going to roll the head in. So the head is going to come very close to the floor. You're going to bend the elbows. You're going to start pushing back into child's pose. With the head very low. And then we're going to roll back again with the head. We're going to flow between Cobra and child's pose. And the head is going to stay close to the floor as I roll forward. So my hips are high, and my head is low. And then the pelvis drops down. Inhale, I open into Cobra. Exhale, I soften down, and then I push back into child's pose. And then again. So I'm creating a wave in the spine, going up and down, and front to back. But at the same time, when I push back into child's pose, I'm probably engaging my upper arms and my shoulders as well. So just continue a couple of more iterations like this, your own pace. The head stays slow in the transitions. Inhale when you come into the Cobra. Exhale when you go out. And then find child's pose and stay in child's pose for a breath, and take the hands towards your feet. And release down here. And I'm going to roll up. And let's move like this a little bit towards the front of the mat. Actually, midway, sorry. And then come up into all four, cross the ankles. You want to sit back and extend the legs forward. So we're going to bend the left leg in. Actually, let me bend the right for me so you can see. So I'm going to bend the right leg in. So you bend one, doesn't matter, we'll do both. And I'm going to turn it in a way such that my chest is facing the bent knee, in my case the right knee. And my left hip is probably somewhat off the floor, which is okay. The left knee, the extended leg is soft. I'm going to inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, I soften. And then I inhale, I drop over the left leg. I'm going to spend a few breaths here. And again, focus on lengthening the right side. If you can reach the foot, go ahead and do it. And just spend a few breaths here. Make sure you're not closing in. You stay long over the extended leg. With the chest parallel to the long side of the mat, or the side that you're facing. Use the breath, the exhale to relax, inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, we soften. We're going to compensate this by extending the head, the side that was bent. So we're going to place the right hand by the right hip. I'm going to bend the left knee, plant the left foot onto the floor. And I'm going to lift the hips up, left hand to the shoulder. Inhale, I'm going to lengthen and open the side that was bent, so the left side. Yeah, again, use the breath. Inhale, exhale. And then exhale, we drop down. And you want to change the legs. I'm going to turn around. So the opposite knee is now bending. I'm going to turn to face the bent knee. Again, that hip is, the opposite hip is probably going to lift up. Make sure that the extended leg knee is soft to begin with. Inhale, we lengthen up. Exhale, we soften. Inhale, we lengthen. And you may find that on this side it's going to be a different experience. And again, focus on lengthening the left side, or the side that you're opening. And again, be careful, if you reach the foot, make sure you're not closing like I'm doing. So I can't get there yet, that's okay. We are where we are. So don't make the reaching of the foot an objective in itself. Because sometimes it's also due to the proportions of the body, the length of our legs, our arms. It's not just a question of how open we are. I mean, that matters, obviously, but it isn't just that. Spend another breath or two here. And then exhale, we soften. Place the left hand by the hip, bend the right leg, the extended leg. Make sure the foot is entirely on the floor, right hand to the shoulder. Inhale, we lengthen and open on this side. And then come down gently and shake the legs if you need to. I'm going to come cross-legged eventually, so take any shakes, any adjustments, and then cross the legs in front of you. I'm going to do a twist now. So first with an inhale, I'm going to lengthen up. Exhale, we soften. We're going to take the left hand, well, whatever hand is going to work for you, on the opposite knee. and the other hand behind, and inhale, lengthen here. So focus on lengthening the upper back with an inhale. And then exhale, we come back to center, take the hands back to the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we soften, we go to the other side. Inhale, lengthen. And then back to center. We're going to do a yoga mudra, so we're going to actually just do this. Let's get there by inhale, lengthening, and then exhale, take the hands out to the side with the arms pretty much extended and the fingers pointing towards the ceiling until the arms are about parallel to the floor. And then start taking the arms back and down. And go quite slowly. And if you feel any tension on the upper arms or maybe the pectorals that are opening, just stop for a second. And then as you find that part of the body is relaxing, go back down. And notice if you're tensing maybe the glutes or the legs. The neck is relaxed, so the chin is slightly tucked in. So you're going back and down progressively at your own pace. And then when you're arrived, relax, and you interlace the fingers behind your back. Take an inhale, lengthen again here, and then start coming forward. And then just let go completely, head, shoulders, neck. Release everything down towards the floor. And then on the next exhale, you start coming back up. So use the exhale to come up. And then inhale, exhale. So you can lay down for your Shavasana, or if you prefer, you can stay cross-legged as well, whatever works for you, for a final relaxation or meditation. So if you want to lay down, just go down all the way to the floor, releasing the arms down by your side with the palms facing up. And if you prepare to stay seated, cross legs, open the palms on your knees so they're facing up. And start focusing on the breath. Whether you're in Shavasana or you're seated, just bring the attention to the sense of well-being that you might feel somewhere in the body. And see if you can expand it elsewhere.
If you're seated, just keep the focus on the breath. And if you're laying down, start wiggling the toes, the fingers. Bend your knees, plant your feet. Notice which nostril is more open. And roll the body to that side. And then use the hands to help you come up seated, finding a comfortable seat. Then we bring the hands in prayer pose at the center of the chest. We bow our head. And we find the breath. The breath is our guide to the practice of yoga. We connect to it at the beginning of the practice. And we follow it throughout the practice. So anytime we need to practice yoga, we go back to the breath. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you for following. Hope you enjoyed it. And as I mentioned, the announcement. As I mentioned on, I don't remember, it was probably the last email. There's only going to be either this or another video that is going to be posted for free, and then I'll have to start charging because I'm teaching, so I don't find it fair that some people are paying for it and some people are getting classes for free. So I'll be putting information on the email about this, and hopefully you'll continue to follow it. Thank you very much again. Thanks.